What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys for checking in again. I just wanted to say I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day with your loved ones, or if you're single, keep going and you'll find it. Our dog is in a really funny position right now with his head on one of the boxes of the microphones and stuff.
He's like so comfortable. He's like.
But yeah, just want to say if you haven't yet, please guys, if you could jump over to our vlog channel, like and subscribe, and just check out the videos. We do appreciate it a lot. Yeah. All right, so this is episode number 154. Run the intro.
Thank you for coming back. Guys, I'm hungover.
Which is insane because we only had we didn't even finish the bottle of wine.
I don't know what voodoo somebody did on me.
I think you might have got like a migraine, and that's what, because migraines cause your whole body to feel sick.
No, sir. No.
No?
We passed out on the couch last night. I rose from the dead at like 3 a.m. and my stomach felt disgusting. I had 2 glasses of wine. Yeah. That's it. That's all it took to end me. Okay. Which is absurd. I don't know if it's now that I'm whatever. Anyway.
I don't think it's that. I don't.
How?
There might have been some of the sushi or something.
It wasn't that. It wasn't.
I don't know.
We had sushi.
It's anyway, a mystery.
So
but,
I get up in like 3 a.m. and I'm like, oh fuck, like we need to go to the room, right? The whole way over there, I'm like trying not to puke. I just felt like I had to puke. Luckily, I didn't. I just passed out. I literally spilled Brian's glass of water that was on the floor. And he goes, again, babe, you just left it? And I was like, I can't. And he's like, it's not like you. And I'm like, I'm not like me right now.
It's fine. I didn't realize the extent of how bad you felt until this morning.
And then I woke up. And at that moment, I didn't have a headache. I remember going to bed and being like, wow, I shockingly don't have a headache. That's cool.
But you woke up with one.
I should have taken medicine.
But yeah, I mean, this morning you definitely, I could tell you didn't feel well. But
horrible.
Send your best wishes for her,
send your
guys.
Regards for me. Just kidding.
So today we're gonna do a video called "The Dark Truth of Why Italy is Giving Away Free Houses," and this is something I've been hearing about more recently. So hopefully we got some fans in Italy who can like comment on this and give a better description about it and just your opinion about it, because I don't know what to really believe, because there's like, I feel like when you have a title of stuff saying like houses are being given away for $1, I do notice that like some of them you need to pretty much like rebuild them entirely from the inside.
I mean,
yeah, which
I would assume,
but it still does take a lot of the cost off. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But this is the dark truth of why they're giving away free houses.
Some houses are overpriced and you still have to fix them up, so
that's what I'm saying. It does take away a lot of the cost still. But let's see why and how it affects people from there.
Hurt.
Maybe you've seen these headlines. Towns all across Italy are giving away houses for literally €1, or they will even pay you thousands of dollars to come and live there. But while this has been a popular feature in the travel section of news websites, it hides an important question. Why are they doing that? And why would a country like Italy need to pay people to live there? Well, if you look deeper, this seemingly funny news story reveals what life in Italy is like today. Because while we tend to see Italy as an idyllic place, Italians themselves might disagree. And beneath the surface, there is a grim economic reality that is slowly becoming more and more obvious. So why is Italy paying people to move there? Why are there so many empty houses? And why is all of that really bad news? While it used to apply only to remote mountain villages, now it's a story that's repeated all over Italy. In all parts of the country and in towns of all sizes, there are millions of empty homes, and the number is rising every year. And many of them are beautiful historical houses in some of the most picturesque parts of the Italian countryside. Houses that are literally part of Italy's cultural heritage. That's why in order to save them, towns across Italy have been launching so-called €1 schemes. Basically, the towns offer the empty homes up for sale, usually aiming to attract foreigners for the symbolic price of €1, meaning that the houses are basically given away for free. They do
I will say there probably is a lot of paperwork and headache you have to go through to be a foreigner and purchase these properties. And I bet you a lot of like taxes and stuff. Sorry.
come with some conditions, and usually the buyers are required to contractually agree to spend a certain amount of money on renovation, since most of the houses have been empty for quite a while. But even so, the cost of the renovation is quite low, and it's usually between 20 to 30,000 euros. And so while a potential buyer gets an extremely cheap property, the local town has one less crumbling house to worry about. But while that's where the articles about this usually end, this is where the really interesting part begins. Because the real question at the bottom of this is, why are there millions of empty houses in the first place? And what does that say about Italy? And well, the answer, unlike the Italian countryside, is not pretty. But to explain why there are so many empty homes, we need to explain something else first. And that's the fact that Italy has been, for quite some time now, facing two major crises, and completely failing to deal with either of them. The first crisis is the fact that since the mid-1990s, the Italian economy has basically stopped growing, and it has been stagnant ever since. Now, this might be surprising. After all, Italy is one of the world's largest economies, and home to some of the most famous brands and companies, from fashion and cars to banking. And for a long time, the question of why exactly Italy forgot how to grow has been a bit of a mystery. But recently, a leading Italian economist came up with a pretty complex theory explaining the cause of what he
I feel like this is a similar situation for a lot of Europe. Like maybe not specifically with the houses and stuff, but well, I don't know, because like Ireland had the housing crisis. I'm sure there's a housing crisis in the UK too. Like I don't know, I feel like maybe we do over glorify Europe because it's so beautiful and it's really beautiful to travel to, but I'm saying like there probably is a lot of economic disparity that we don't really see because we don't live there.
Right. I'm just wondering where the people in these houses are now. Like where...
Maybe their last of their family passed.
I feel like a lot of European countries are communal based, the way they live with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if our generation is as much, but older generations.
Probably older generations.
I don't think they're as pushy about getting out when you're 18. But still, like, where are the people that were in these houses? Where are they now?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
called the Italian disease. And it's not that Italians are lazy, but rather that Italian managers and businesses have remained stuck in time. He explains that businesses in Italy have always been rewarding loyalty and connections rather than performance a lot more than in other countries, and they continue to do so to this day. But while prior to the 1990s,
like
this
that's how it
didn't
is
matter
now.
that much, with the rise of IT, where meritocracy and performance
I don't
like
know.
they always say networking will get you a lot farther.
Yeah, but what they're saying, I think, is like they'll pay someone more for loyalty, even if they're not the best performer. Where here, we don't really give a shit about loyalty. If we find a better performer, we're gonna put that person in the place of the other person.
I don't believe that at all. I don't think performance is nearly as important as ass kissing and network ties.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Just from the experience I've had in every job,
Maybe it's different through each like.
I remember my first job, and this, again, it was my first job. It wasn't anything that serious. I didn't have like this. I wasn't like in the cool crowd with them. Like there was like cliques. I just wasn't in that at all. And I remember we had like a secret person come in. They would have one every like so often.
Like a secret shopper type thing? Yeah.
And I got the award, and everyone was like, you? And because they just expected it to be someone in their circle, because it's like they only propped each other up.
Yeah.
And then they left people like me who weren't in their little circle just kind of there. So they were just like, how'd you do it? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I just did my job. It was just weird. But yeah, as I'm saying, I feel like some places are cliquey and they just kind of help each other. It doesn't matter about others' performances.
I guess.
I don't know. It's what I've seen.
I
And
think
that's been at every job I've ever had. There's been
maybe
I've
it's
seen that.
different within different sectors of work, like different types
Yeah.
of jobs. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Mattered a lot more, this practice started to keep the economy from growing. And since Italy and its businesses failed to get rid of their nepotism and adapt to the 21st century, the country soon started to fall behind others. Add to this a series of unstable governments, chaotic legal system, massive tax evasion problem, and one of the
Damn.
largest public debts
Damn.
in the world, and you'll start to see how Italy went from one of the leading global economies to becoming more and more dysfunctional. But this is where Italy's problems are still only beginning. And if you're waiting to find out what's going on with the empty houses, don't worry, we're getting there. Because on top of the
Yeah, I wanna
non-existent
know.
growth, Italy has had for decades consistently one of the highest unemployment rates in Europe, with around 10% on average, and 30% for young people, meaning that for two
Wow.
generations, a third
That's
of young
crazy.
Italians have not been able to find a job, and those that do often have to settle with a salary that's not exactly a reason to celebrate. A situation so common that it's known in Italy as the €1,000 generation, nickname for a generation of people in their 30s with degrees and high qualifications working white-collar jobs who still make less than €1,000 a month and struggle to
What?
get by. And so contrary to our view of Italy,
Italians, I need
That's
you to let us know.
insane.
I need you to
€1,000
fill us
a
in.
month? That's nothing. I'm sure, because I'm sure their rent is probably like two grand, something like €2,000 or something like that for
I
like
have
a.
zero idea about cost of living anywhere.
I don't.
Other
You
than here.
guys inform below if you live in Italy or have lived there and stuff. But it can't be like, I don't see them having apartments for like €300 a month or
You
something.
never know. I'm not saying that they don't need more than that. I'm sure they need more than €1,000 a month. That's just crazy to me. A third
Yeah.
of the population
So it must
is
be.
jobless.
It must be super difficult to get like a qualified job. It is. I think it's pretty difficult here too because
It
a
is
lot
now.
of
It's been like it for like probably a year now, I feel like.
the descriptions when you're applying, they're like, must have these qualifications for like an entry level job, and they want you to have like 5 years of experience, and it's like, how does that make sense?
Yeah, for the salary they offer,
Mhm.
it's like
Makes no
okay,
sense.
How
Yeah.
are people expected to pay off their student loans
I
and
think.
survive
Sorry.
with the salaries that they think you deserve anyway?
No, I think there used to be, but like even I think when I was in high school, or when we like around the time we were in high school and before, people would hire you just if they liked your personality and if they thought you could learn. Like it wasn't so much about the technical qualifications as it is now. Like I think
Maybe as a high school student, because you're not getting an actual job, you're getting like a fast food job or something,
but
or
okay,
like a retail job,
okay, maybe have this imagining
and they
like,
would pay you
imagine-
minimum wage.
Okay, I'm talking. Okay, let's say like maybe in the early 2000s and before, I would think like even if you're getting a higher paying job, if you have like basic qualifications, but you are
Yeah, experience was definitely more.
that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Is that it wasn't such a huge thing as it is now.
yeah. Now they're like, you need to have a master's degree and 10 years of experience.
Yeah.
And then you can make like entry level pay. Just get your foot in the door. They don't value people's knowledge as much as they value, or as much as they can value like a work ethic.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I don't care how smart you are if you're not like
If you're hard to work with,
invested in it, or yeah.
that's another
Oh my
thing
god,
too.
yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people go down just based off their attitudes and their egos.
Because they might be very smart, like book wise, but then like if they're a pain in the ass to work with, like it's only gonna go so far because no one's gonna want to work with you.
Again, there are some people that like they don't care because they don't deal with them. That they're just like
Whatever, you're not my
whatever,
problem.
Whatever, you're smart, you know.
Yeah,
But I think you have to be to a certain level of
yeah.
I don't know. But like you said, I remember in high school, like I feel like people a generation above us could get a job based off experience and like eagerness versus
Yeah, eagerness, like
Yeah.
the ability to learn. Like they could
That's
see
right.
that.
Yeah. Whereas now,
They don't really
it's,
care as
it's
much about that.
networking. People go to college, to certain colleges, to network, and then what's on like the paper.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Yeah.
As a little paradise, it's maybe not that surprising that it has been for years reported as one of the unhappiest countries in Europe.
Damn.
And mostly due
I
to
know
how
that.
bad the economic situation has been. All of the economic problems are bound to have some consequences. And in Italy's case, this has resulted in a massive exodus of young, qualified, and ambitious people from the country. Since 2008,
Yeah.
at least 2 million young Italians have permanently left the country, and hundreds of thousands of people keep leaving every year. And this is not the only demographic problem that Italy is facing. On top of the massive levels of emigration, just like Japan, Italy has been struggling with a trend called the Silver Tsunami. It now has the third oldest population in the world, and it keeps aging faster than
Oh.
any other EU country. That, combined with the third lowest birth rates in Europe that have been steadily decreasing for the past 15 years, means that Italy has less and less people in productive working age who can start businesses, build value, and drive the economy. The number of those who need to receive pensions
When will these? I don't even know. Like countries, economies, whatever. When will they learn that when you don't make it a burden to like exist, people will want to have children?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's global.
Yeah,
it's-
anywhere.
It's happening globally. That's why you see like the birth rates are down
Okay,
all
and
over
then
the
if
world.
there's more older people, it's because when they were young and having to work, shit was easier.
Like, okay,
So
I think
something has to be sustainable.
I think it's good to say economically things were easier, but like globally there was more turmoil happening. I think with wars and stuff. There were more wars happening.
There's always wars happening though. There's always something happening.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that was affecting like Europe and other places like a lot more, like World War II and all these other things like that, like Vietnam.
I understand. I'm just
Yeah.
saying there's
Well,
always I just think
conflict, yeah.
war has never stopped. We've just gotten better at like hiding it, I guess.
Brushing over it kind of
And, yeah.
because
Like
now,
right now,
yeah.
we're debatably in the middle of a World War III, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't know.
I think we're at the early phases of one if things don't change.
I think we're already in it, to be honest. And I think people think because we're not getting nuked that it's not
Yeah,
happening.
I know.
But anyway.
Knock on wood. Yeah.
from the state and be cared for by others is constantly increasing, all while there are less and less children being born, and while hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands of people in the productive age choose to leave, and while many countries are
Yep.
dealing with one
Sorry, I have heard this is like that's probably gonna happen here and like probably in places like this where like Social Security is gonna run out
Oh, yeah.
because because if less and less people are being born at some point, like say like when we're 70, 80, there might not be one because there's such a lack of people in the workforce.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who fucking knows? I don't know. Yeah.
with one or two of those challenges, Italy has the perfect combination of all three at the same time.
So
and that's
beautiful, though.
why it has been for nearly a decade going through a major demographic crisis that is getting worse every year. Since 2014, Italy's population has been steadily decreasing by almost 200,000 people every year, and it's not
Holy
going
shit,
to stop.
that's a lot.
Predictions say that in the next 50 years, Italy's population is going to shrink by further 20%. And you don't need to be an expert to know that that's not good news for the economy
No
or
shit.
for the country.
Come on, Italy's government. You guys have a fucking one of the most beautiful places on this earth. Make it like doable for younger generations so people want to move there when in their 20s and people want to stay there. You know, like make it favorable for the younger generations. I don't know.
It's just weird because it's like some places are overpopulated because of the easy living, and then it feels like it's always on one side of the pendulum.
It's never like balanced where it's like a good
Yeah,
work-life balance and then like also like, you know,
because then too many people are going to want to live there.
yeah,
And then it's like,
it throws off the balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For the economy or for the country itself. So how do the empty houses fit into all of that? Well, because of the economic situation and the demographic crisis, Italy is simply running out
Damn.
of people. And the places where most of the empty houses are, usually smaller towns and villages, are hit the hardest. The lack of job opportunities and infrastructure in these areas makes it difficult for young people to find work and build a future for themselves. And so they are leaving behind these deserted, abandoned villages and empty homes that are then marketed as holiday homes for sale to Brits and Americans, in a desperate attempt to save these places from dying
shit, they
out
created a little
completely.
America?
Weirdly enough, at the same time, Italy is one of the countries with the highest percentage of adults living with their mom
heard
and
that.
dad. In 2021, 70% of adult Italians under the age 34 still lived with their parents.
That's
And
wild.
even in the age bracket 30 to 44 years, 25% of people still lived at their parents' house. And while that's also a result of the Italian close-knit
Yeah.
family ties, many live with their parents not so much by choice, but rather by necessity. With youth unemployment being so high, it's increasingly difficult for young Italians to even rent their own
Damn.
place, and buying their own property has become basically impossible. Which sounds like it doesn't make sense if there are houses sold for €1 across the whole country. But since the
Yeah, but it's because they can't afford to renovate it. The people there don't have 20 or 30,000 euro to renovate it. So that's just like they're getting,
Well,
know,
they're
screwed.
also clearly their quality of life too. Like, I don't know. It seems like it's just not worth it. They would rather just leave anyway because of the
Yeah.
lack of job
Yeah.
opportunity.
It's going to become
They're gonna leave anyway.
it's going to become where it's like Americans or other Europeans who
Well,
work
even that
online
one
and stuff like that,
girl-
and they're going to go move there, and it's going to
And I
become a
think
place of
that's-
nomads.
That's why they're what's the word?
Like showcasing this?
No, that I feel that's why they're targeting. I feel like this is such a off word to use, but like they're targeting Western countries because they're like, you guys probably have the money to
They are.
buy a house
Yeah.
here and to keep it up. Because the majority of people that come from like America or the UK that are gonna go get a house, I doubt any of them are gonna settle there. They're probably gonna use it as an Airbnb, or they're probably going to like
Either
have it as
that,
a vacation home or something. I don't think they're going to
yeah. Or
reside there.
they might if they work online, like do stuff online, and then they can live there and then just travel to other places.
Whatever. I think the majority of people are not going to just pick up and move their family to Italy just because of that. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. I saw this one lady, it was on some CNBC video. She bought a house there in Sicily, and then her and her son are always going between Atlanta and there. So she'll split the time in Atlanta and here and there.
Remember that girl when we were in Spain? She was working at that one restaurant we went to at the top, the roof bar.
Oh
Roof bar.
yeah, she's from Argentina, I
No,
think.
she's from Italy. She's from Sicily.
Oh yeah, she was saying
And
yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, yeah. And so I mean, I guess they really are moving the fuck out.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true. She probably has better opportunity in Spain.
That's what she said. She said
Yeah.
she makes more money being a server there.
Yeah, makes sense.
there are no jobs and no opportunities in the areas where these houses are, young Italians are not going to buy
Yeah.
them even for €1, since they would have no way how to make a living there. The only people who will buy them are those who don't need an income, mostly foreigners who will use the properties as vacation
Yep.
homes. And while there's nothing wrong with that, they won't solve the underlying
Yeah.
problems. That's why the program to give away free houses is mostly a sign of just how desperate the situation has become. While Italy is struggling to keep its small towns and villages alive, the empty homes are a stark reminder of the economic decline. And meanwhile, with the economy being the reason why so many people leave Italy, which then further strangles the economy, the country is locked in a spiral that's increasingly hard to get out of. And the situation is only getting worse.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. To you Italians out there, or I hope,
I just want to know if you guys feel this, everything.
judging by the comments, I did read some of the comments earlier,
Okay.
and like, I will say like none of them disagreed with him, and they were all like, "Yeah, I used to live there. I'm from there." Like,
That sucks.
they're saying it's so hard to get a job. Like, it's, yeah,
I honestly did not expect that. I thought that because when you go there, everyone's working like some form of hospitable job, like hospitality.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that
But there were
that was because people in like France, Italy, Spain, like there's hospitality schools, you know.
Are you sure
whereas-
in Italy they have that?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I could have sworn there was, but I know for sure like France and stuff. They have those schools that you can like go to.
Yeah, because I know you've mentioned it before too, that like in Europe, hospitality is considered more of like a legitimate career than it is here. Like here, it looks like just like some other random job.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I saw it the way like we see people with like a business degree here. That was like what I equated in Europe to like a hospitality
Yeah.
degree.
I'm sure
They
it
take
kind of
it-
is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they take it. They have pride in that. Whereas I feel like here it's just like another job.
It's just a job you get when you're like, you're just like, fuck it, let me just go work for a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope the economy does take a shift for you guys there or people there, because that seems pretty shitty. You know, like you have no other options but to leave. And then like what I did notice though when we went, there was a lot of old people though, a lot of older people
Oh, yeah.
than younger people.
Well, because their diets too are different there, so they live a lot longer and they walk a lot more. And
Well, not even
the
that. I'm just saying
lifestyle's
like
just different.
taking away from the just like excluding the tourists that we saw, there was not. I don't remember interacting with a lot of younger locals. I remember there was that bartender, but like
Any like cafe we went to was whatever. I saw a lot of mix of people, but I get what you're saying. Like the small businesses were definitely older people.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and that too. I assumed it was just a lot of small mom and pop businesses. Like I just thought like everyone was part of some type of either hospitable career or a small family business.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought that was like a really cool dynamic, but I don't know. It does suck hearing that a third of the population is like struggling to find jobs. Like that sucks,
That's wild.
especially for such a sought out
Place,
location
yeah.
for tourists. Like I would just assume everyone was fucking working. Anyway,
Yeah. Hopefully it turns around for you guys. But yeah, if you enjoyed that video, guys, we do appreciate it if you like and subscribe to this channel, and also if you jump over to the vlog channel. Means a lot to us, you know.
yes.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good weekend. Bye.